Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Josh. I'm here. It is. Let me just fix the music, bring that in a little bit more. There we go. Saturday isn't my day. I'm well aware of this. I know that I'm the one that's a bit weird, but I've been doing an awful lot of work recently. And I've made some questionable decisions, which has led to my sleep schedule being completely fucked. So I needed to stay up for at least another couple hours until it's kind of an appropriate time to sleep. Let's fix this. Hold on. There we go. Until it's appropriate time to sleep. And I figured the best way to do that was to have people watching me. Don't ask me how, but here we are. Well, I'm a lot tired than I thought I was. So here is what we're doing today. I'm planning my D&D session. This is the game we've been running with my group, which has like Owen and Aaron, people you've seen around the channel in. And yeah, it's called The City of Steel, and they got about halfway through it before everybody's work kind of caught up to them, and we haven't finished it, which is good because I haven't finished planning it yet. So this is what we're hopefully going to do, and it should keep me up for a couple hours at least. Yeah. So there's probably going to be just a lot of typing and hanging out. My feet are cold. Hi, Ike. No, it's not coding. This is the... well, I mean, technically it is. I guess. That's kind of why I've put everything over on like, this side. Because it technically is. It's markup, I believe. I'll have to check that now. Basically, this is the home brewery. So this guy made a thing that lets you write up your own D&D stuff in the style that they use in the books. What is it? It is marked down, not markup. It's marked down. Close enough. Well, wrong direction, but so I am technically coding the right-hand side of this screen, but also technically not. But kind of. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But welcome to the stream, Ike. Yes, we will be doing typing ASMR. With some funky tunes on in the background, whilst I finish setting my stream setup up, because I am a hot mess. Some people would argue that I'm just a mess. I was also fixing my music because it seems to be... No, okay, there we go. Alright, now I'll actually do the thing I was supposed to do. We were having a conversation in Zaffy's chat the other week about various things, and it got around to the topic of Hadestown. If anybody doesn't know what Hadestown is, it's a Broadway musical about the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. And I went to see it in 2019. Yeah, while it was in London. And it very quickly became the best show I've ever seen. Anyone that's been hanging around this stream and Zaffy's long enough knows that I'm a drama and theatre student. In fact, I just finished my degree. So, yeah, Hadestown was the best show I've ever seen, and it inspired a lot of D&D. Namely, this session, The City of Steel, which is basically just Orpheus and Eurydice with extra D&D bullshit. But I've done quite a lot of it so far, and like I even got a little map. I need to keep going. I haven't ever written anything this long before. The closest I've got to planning like homebrew sessions is I'd run like individual sessions, like one or two. Yeah, I'd run like one or two in a larger session. So this was a little bit of a shock. And my roommate is a drama major. She's directing Hamlet for her thesis. Oh, sick. Hamlet's good. I like Hamlet. It's kind of funky. Well, tell her good luck. Yeah, tell her good luck from me, another drama student. Yeah. Yeah, so this whole thought process has inspired a lot of D&D. So you can see this is my big planning document. And it is big, and I haven't thought a whole lot about what's going into it. Namely, just the City of Steel. Like, there is a lot of stuff on here. And then I started coming up with other things. I got a little bit of help. But for now, I'm just sticking with the City of Steel because there's a lot going on in this, and it needs to at least work. I am thinking about putting this up on somewhere like DM's Guild when it's done. But the little bits missing. Like you can see, I haven't done anything about the Campania system yet. The Thundering Skunk is pretty much all good, but I need to buff Chapter 2 because we played it and they steamrolled straight through everything, and yeah. But most importantly, I need to actually finish it before I go back and balance properly. Yeah. Well, I can't do that. I don't know why I thought I could do that, but oh well. Anyway. Where are we? We're at the square of the planet. Let me do something under the junk heap just to illustrate how this works. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you can just about see it on the left-hand side. So I type something in over here, and I'm like, what do I want to type? I'll type, like, let's type off-brand Ike, since you're here, and that appears down there. So anything I put on the left side of the screen gets outputted in the proper format on the right-hand side of the screen. And it's... yeah. That's me! That is you. So yeah, it can get a little confusing. I've had to learn some stuff. Some of it's built in that you can't see because it's behind my head. But like columns and pages and things and tables can be automatically generated through the home brewery, and it's real cool if you ever wanted to write something for D&D in this. It's really helpful. Right. Okay. So where we're at now is we're actually inside the city itself. And maybe if there's a specific ask for it, I'll run through the whole thing. But at the moment, we're inside the city. And there are all these locations that I've got to work out what's going on there. I've come up with some names, and that's about it. Apart from G, which is Yigdal's Tower, who's my big bad boss. He's going to have a whole separate section, because that's a whole, like, a dungeon, basically. Yeah. I don't know if any of this actually turns out any well, because we haven't got there yet. So I'm going to need to playtest it, but we'll get around to that once we work out when we're going to play again, which could be a while. Want to become famous? No. Please go away. Thank you. I do not. I have no desire to. Wait, why did they turn off in there? Show mod icons, please. Yes. Thank you. There we go. I can do that through there. Right. I've got nice lo-fi Zelda tunes going on in the background. Yeah. Should be fun. So let's see. Where should we start? Where should we start? It reminds me, I DM'd a D&D game based off of Zelda where we're all some variation of Link. Oh, that's sick. So you could do like a whole, essentially, Four Swords style thing. That's a good idea. And I hesitate to steal that because I haven't even finished planning this yet. But that is a cool idea. And I would be tempted to run something like that. Right. Planar pump. We're all Link, but with different vowels. So lonk, lunk, yeah, lank, lank. That's pretty cool. I'm into that. Yeah, so before we started doing this, we were running Storm King's Thunder. I was about to say just Storm Giants Thunder. We were running Storm Kings, and that was the first time I'd even seen anything about that. But I think it went quite well. People had fun. They won. The only person that didn't really win was my friend John, who didn't get to do anything in the final fight because he got scared by the dragon they were fighting. So all he could do was run away and cower. Hey Doman, welcome to the stream. We're D&D planning. Or eventually I'll think of something to type. Right. Let's see. Occasionally I'll spot notes in my own code that are wrong. Got to put a space in there. Okay, so it's a big magic machine. I'll work on the planar pump first. It's a real big magic machine. So I feel like working on that first. Let's see. Now I can't type. I knew once I started typing in front of an audience, I would lose my ability to type entirely. Where is it? The planar pump is D, so it's over there. Yeah, I was spelling that right. You get a little bit of typing ASMR for you, and occasionally I'll say sometimes interesting things, I think. Now I have to check if that is an actual spelling. Is it roofs or roofs? Is it with an F or a V? That is the right plural. Nice. I can spell. I made it all the way to 23 and I can actually spell. Oh boy. What an achievement. Let's see. The building containing the planar pump is wedged in between several others, and it stretches above the roofs of the buildings around it. Let's see. If it's trying to siphon stuff, it's going to need some kind of like funnel in the top. or something sticking out of the roof that differentiates it from the other buildings, which just houses. Let's see. It's gonna need some kind of Tesla coil at the top, isn't it? Yeah. If you're going for steampunk, always just go for Tesla coil. Tesla coils solve lots of problems. Maybe not steampunk. Maybe that's more. Is there an electric punk? Josh. Hi, Chelsea. Hey. Alex is here. Alex. Hi, Alex. I've never actually met you. I've heard you're wonderful. Welcome. I'm planning D&D badly. Yeah. What was I talking about? Was there there's some kind of electric punk thing, which I think Tesla coils are more suited to maybe than steampunk. What is that called? It's not diesel punk. It's something else. I'm gonna have to Google this now. Electric punk. That's like a version. Oh, I'm just gonna get electric punk. Electropunk. That's it. Digital hardcore. Okay, we're gonna go with electropunk and just leave it at that. He's gonna follow. Sick. Take me up to 29. How do we? Hey, thanks, Alex, for the follow. You see my cool little Zelda gif. I'm real proud of finding. I didn't make that. I could have, but I didn't. How do you describe a Tesla coil to someone who's never seen one? And I'm just going to make sure Tesla coil. I am thinking of the right kind of thing, aren't I? Alright, was not thinking of the right kind of thing, but that will do. Okay. This is some Chad material right here. Thanks, Alex. Atom punk is another genre which might be good for the Tesla coil. That's what I was thinking of, atom punk, rather than electropunk. I think electropunk's more of a music thing. I was thinking of atom punk, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, I'm really asserting my dominance on chat here, Alex, with my wondering what the fuck a Tesla coil is. God, now I've completely lost my train of thought. What was I doing? The buildings around it. Just checking out the roof. Mate, D&D has something learning about Old Norse. Don't worry about it. I know far too much about Old Norse. Far too much. Old Norse and Greek. That is what I have learnt just in my own time, really. I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and I finally met Alex, and I'm all of a flutter. Jesus. Jutting out of the roof. Trying to explain the pure concept of trying to explain a Tesla coil to someone who lives in essentially the Middle Ages. I am struggling immensely with this. Same bro, can't even look at Chelsea right now. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, the pure concept of trying to explain that to somebody from the Middle Ages is destroying my brain. It's a strange contraption. Strange metal contraption. You have to specify it. Reverse lightning rod. You know what? As you put that in there, the thing that came into... As you put that in chat, the thing that came into my head was... Like a lightning rod? Did they have lightning rods? And then I was like, yeah, they did. Because lightning was still a problem. Also, they have magic, so why wouldn't they know what a fucking lightning rod is? Come on, Josh, get your shit together. It's a strange mental contraption. That is not the word I want. I don't want emits. I want releases. That's what I want. Come on, stop. Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. He says slowly tracking the mouse over. Okay, this guy. Say. That'll fizzle. That'll do. Am I going to need like a floor map? I think I am. I think this is going to go poorly. I think I'm going to need more stuff than I think I currently have. Oh boy. This is not going to be a long stream. This is purely to give me something to do for an hour or two. I love how I've written G, Yigdal's Tower. This is where Yigdal lives. Gonna need another map. You're so helpful to your future self, Joshua. Strange contraption. Okay, good. I'm just keeping an eye on my sound levels. Just in case you get choir drowning me out completely. Because that's what's happening in my headset right now. Inside the building. Various members of the employed mill about. Just wheels. I go to speak out loud and I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. And then I remember that people are watching me. And if I do that and go, it's called a wheel, no one fucking knows what I'm talking about. Oh, dear. Christ. Valves. That's valve. Throwing levers and spinning valve wheels. They glance occasionally at what are those called? Gauges. Yeah. Glance occasionally at. Is that even how you spell gauges? It is not how you spell gauges. I put the A in the wrong place. Gauges. There we go. Occasionally, gauges. I'm sure future me will come and tidy this up later, but for now, this will do. Keep the needles out of the red sections. It's in my rec sections. Right, what else? What happens if you got players go in there? What do they do? What are they going to do? No matter what I plan for, they won't do it. But what could they do that I may have to deal with? It could be anything. They could do literally anything, and I wouldn't be able to stop them. So they're probably going to try and turn off the machine. I mean, that is pretty much the only thing they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to have to turn off the machine. So what happens if they turn off the machine? They're probably going to... Well, there's two options for turning off the machine if we've established that there's gauges that need to be kept in check. They're either going to turn it off nicely, or they're going to blow the shit out of it. Now, if I know my players well enough, they will blow the shit out of it. Right, so what is the damage caused by letting this thing... Getting the needles and the valves into the reds? Does it overheat? Is there a build-up of too much energy? It's definitely one of those. And if it's kind of magical, I'm assuming it's going to be the build-up of something. So there's probably going to be a consequence for exploding it, which will be intelligence equal dump stat. Yeah, that is my entire party. Dump stat, intelligence. Who do we have in the party? We've got a paladin, a sorcerer, a rogue, and a warlock. So none of those are intelligence casters. In fact, I think they're all charisma casters. Unless I fucked up paladin, which I may have done. Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is they're idiots. I say that, but I'm an intelligence caster all day. Yeah, don't dump your intelligence stat if you cast with intelligence. Or you just won't be able to hit anything. This is coming from a sorcerer that didn't know how to play sorcerer. To be fair, it was my first ever character. I didn't really know how to play. And I'd just like to clarify that I didn't dump charisma as a sorcerer. I just didn't know what sorcery points were. Which is, I think it's fair enough for a first time player. And no one really explained it. So yeah, I didn't really know what sorcery points were. Or how spell slots worked. And so I think I effectively cheated the entire of my first game. I think I just kept casting spells, which you're not supposed to do, in case anybody watching doesn't know about D&D. You're not supposed to. My second character was a sorcerer, I had no clue. Yeah, I like to think I have more of a clue now. But I will forever be a sorcerer. I like shoot spells. I like making the spells go boom. I also like playing Dragon Man. Oh, I need help. Where was I? Working out what happens if they explode. I think I've told this story on stream before. I definitely told it on Zafi's stream. My favourite character I've ever made was a wizard. He was a wizard, and his name was Norman. And he was a human, or at least he appeared to be. He was actually 3 gnomes in a coat, and they could all swap places, and they were all wizards, but I restricted them to having 1 school of magic each, and any time they wanted to swap what kind of spells they could cast, they had to swap places in the robe, and they had like a harness and everything. It was real cool, And I had plans, like, as long as it was going, as the further the more the character leveled up, the more complicated the harness got. So they were literally standing on each other's shoulders at level 1. But if they got up to level 20, they'd have like this mech suit that swapped around inside and like all kinds of cool stuff. They had a big robe and a big staff and a hat of disguise. It's a hat of something that made them look like a human. And they were just 9 feet tall. And every time someone would say like, "Wow, you're really tall for a human," he'd be like, "Yeah, I had a magical accident when I was a child, and so I'm huge." It was great. It was hilarious. I had a great time. And no one knew. And multiple times none of the other players knew. Multiple times during the session. Like, I remember, like, either first or second session, we were, like, sneaking around inside a cave. And, my stealth score was shit, because obviously I was 3 gnomes in a coat. And I must have alerted somebody or something. And thank God it was dark, because my only option, therefore, was to dismantle Norman completely. So all 3 of the gnomes got out of the robe, picked up all of his stuff, and ran away separately. And then had to... but they ran away from the party, and they were like, "Oh, where'd Norman go?" And then he turned up, reassembled, and he was like, "Oh, I was behind you the whole time." And they never suspected a thing, and I still, to this day, don't understand how. We had the session I ran for that party was a murder mystery like Christmas session, and Norman was the victim. So they found like and all they found was his like robe, and it was just like this bloody robe, and then there were 3 gnomes like in the next room over, all hiding, and no one got it. They found the robe and they were like, "Oh, Norman's been killed. Where's his body?" And then they went and looked for it, and they met these 3 gnomes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we are 3 gnomes. We just work here in this school, and you've never seen us before." And then they've worked out who did it. And the moment they worked out who did it, Norman, fully formed, walked back in and was like, "Oh, hi guys. No, I did a thing, and I'm not dead." And they were like, "Oh, okay, fair enough. He's a magician." And they just didn't get it. And to this day, I had to tell them at one point. It was like character related that I had to tell them. And they're like, "This makes so much more sense." I'm like, "I know. You guys are stupid." I just noticed I made a spelling mistake. If the machine isn't... I can't spell. There's an H in machine. Okay, eventually. What level are they? That's a very good question. I wonder if I have it in the D&D channel. Oh, I forgot John had posted. Sorry, one of my players. We got a D&D channel on the on our Discord, which you can join by clicking the thing that says Discord in the panels. And I was just in there, and I forgot that one of my players posted a homebrew subclass for, I think, domain. Oh, it's a sorcerer subclass, but it's like a garlic bread subclass that he found on D&D Beyond, and it's just everything. Starting at 6th level, you may cast Grease at will. At 8th level, you gain the ability to infuse your weapons with the power of garlic, which causes them to deal an additional 1d12 poison damage because of food poisoning. Like, it's so dumb. Why do we post shit like this in our D&D channel? I was typing out something else about I love hearing about your character. Thanks, Ike. I had real fun playing him. He was real cool. Congrats on finishing your course, by the way. Thanks, Alex. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. This is it. I've been in academia my entire life, and now that I'm free, I'm like, stay up till 4 a.m. and then go to sleep. And that's not good for my health. Or really anything. I'm still trying to find out. I want to say they're probably level... They're at least level 10, I think. They might be more. Unfortunately, none of them are here to tell me what level they are, which is probably a good thing. But... Yes. Somewhere around 10 or 11, I think. So... After this... We're retiring those characters because there's not a whole lot. Also, this is the end of some of the story arcs for some of the characters. So after this whole thing, we're gonna retire those and make some more, and then I get to play because Aaron's gonna DM a session, and I finally get to play again. And I have not played. I have been a DM since 2018, I think. I've been... I'll turn on my mic a little. I can move myself a little closer and talk a little louder. In fact, I could turn up my mic a little as well. Look at that. The power of technology. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've been a DM since 2018. I've been DMing for 3 years. And now I'm a little sick of it. And I was like, I just want to play, please. So, yeah. I get to be a cool character that I came up with that's kind of dumb, but also I kind of love. Just because of how dumb he is. Did I turn my capsule? No, I did. Anytime you want to do something in D&D to do with, like, magical shit that you don't kind of understand, just put the word planar in there, and that just fixes everything. Like, if the machine is not kept regulated, eventually the accumulated planar energies, just put planar in it, and then no one can argue that you don't know what you're talking about, because, oh, it's planar, ooh. The only time that backfires for you is if one of your players is like specializes in planar, is like a planar wizard or something, then you're in trouble. But apart from that, you're pretty good. What is it? It's like, it's not the... Joke's on you, my character is Bobo the Planar Chimp. Exactly, that's the only time that's gonna fuck you up if you put Planar on there. Yeah. He comes from the Feywild and therefore knows everything about planar travel. I say that like one of the players isn't a satyr. Why? Why did he have to be a satyr? He doesn't count as humanoid. Anything I throw at him that specifies humanoid, it's not him. God damn it. I have to make sure like everything can cast hold creature, not just hold person. Otherwise, I can't restrain him in any way, shape, or form. I'm really good at something about this. Not overwhelm. How about overload? I have to use the word machine again because I've used that a lot in this whole thing. Let's see. Well, I could also turn the music down a little. There we go. Humanity plane energies. Overload the machine. Anyone caught in the explosion is blasted with some kind of magic shit. Here I go using the word planar again. Pure uncontrolled planar energy. Oh wait, no, there's like there's a better word I could use there instead of planar again. Blasted with pure uncontrolled, like universal. No, it's not universal. Fundamental, no. Like something that is like fundamental to the core of the groundwork of the universe or something. God, what is that word? Dum 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 dum. Okay, well, we'll leave that there. In fact, I'll put brackets around planar, because I know there's another word I could be using. I also spelt planar wrong. Palnar. Which is too close to planar for me to steal and use for my own thing. Because otherwise I'd have been like, oh yeah, it's Palnar energy. It takes... What's a ridiculous amount of damage someone could take? Like, you take like 300 D10 or something. Yeah, you know what? Let's put that. 300 D10. What's our maximum roll for that? Fucking 300? No, it's more than that. 3,000? Yeah, 3,000 damage. No one can survive 3,000 damage. Except I think some dragons could. Oh, I think a Tarrasque might be able to. You know what? Let's check that. Let's go to 5e tools. The place I use for all my D&D stuff. Bestiary. And it's totally not the only place I use because I know someone that used to code the website. Tarrasque. Oh, has 676 hit. Yeah, no, the Tarrasque will fucking die. I think. Damage immunities. Yeah, legendary roses. Magic missiles. Alright, let's get some big dragons up in here. Because I can't remember what people's like an ancient dragon's hit point maximum is. Ancient. Well, let's pick it. First one I saw was ancient white dragon. 300. 400, 500, 500, yeah, okay, cool. As long as it can kill dragons. I can't find a monster that would be able to survive 300 D10 damage. Because I don't think there's anything... I think the highest hit point count is like somewhere around 600 from a standard monster. There's probably some homebrew thing that's got like 2,000 health, but off the top of my head, and I kind of wish I'd brought my books back with me now, because I didn't. I just brought my DM screen and my dice tray. Wow, I'm really bad at typing today. Which is instant death. If you get hit by that much thing. In fact, why did I close that because I could go on my... Where's my DM screen? And actually roll. Yes, please. I can actually roll 300 d10. So if I roll 300 d10... How much damage is that going to do? 1,646. Now, obviously, it could do less than that. But, like, the absolute minimum is 300, obviously. So, none of my players have 300 health. So, it's all good. In fact, I think Aaron's character has, like, 40. Which is bad, but Bobo the Planar Wizard could take it. Dude, you gotta bring Bobo into something, because I gotta know what I'm gonna need to beat the shit out of him. In a non-animal cruelty way, you understand. It's different, because he's sentient. I assume. Okay. Right, so if you get caught in this explosion, you take anywhere between 300 and 3,000 damage, which pretty much guarantees instant death to anything that's not huge. Not huge, gargantuan. So at minimum damage, there are a couple of dragons that could get hit and survive. But that's fine, because dragons are supremely mythical creatures anyway. Supremely powerfully magical, at least in my canon, because I am a sucker for a big scaly thing with wings. I really like dragons, okay? Leave me alone. I really like dragons. Okay. Dragon's cool. Dragon's cool. Somebody gets it. Not many people get it. There are people that are just like, oh, dragons, but you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and there's like 500 other monsters. And I'm like, but I want a big scaly boy. I want a big dragon to burn shit. And I want to play a Dragonborn. And no, that doesn't mean I'm a scaly in denial. I just like Dragonborn. I'll play a fucking... What are they called in Skyrim? Starts with an A. Argonian. I play an Argonian Skyrim. I played that first. Whenever there's an opportunity to play a big, scaly dragon man, I will play the dragon man. Dragons fill every role. They cover every elemental type. You know, lightning, fire, ice, poison. That one's a bit dubious. There's another one. Acid. There we go. No, poison and acid aren't the same thing. I usually think of the difference being, like poison is a poison cloud, and acid is actually liquid. So, for example, my character, Rosalth, who, I wonder if I can... What's that called? God, I made it the other day. Hero Forge, that's... Jesus. I am so bad. Yeah, don't... Ignore the searches for My Hero Academia. There's a new episode that came out today. I haven't watched it yet. There's a new hero that comes out all the time, but I just... Let's just put myself there real quick. Yeah, email address. There we go. Yeah. I thought it saved my dude. Let me show you, this season has been fantastic so far. Oh boy. It has. Does it not save your... What about Rosalth? Where is my boy? Oh dear. I think it doesn't save my my previous creation. Oh well. That's upsetting. Oh wait, heroes. There he is. I know what his name is. I want to look at him. I wanted to show him off to all my internet friends. Look at him. He's cool. He's green. He's got a tail. Dragonborns don't actually have tails in canon, but fuck you. I like it. I like Dragonborn having tails. It's just cool. He's a sorcerer. Love him. All shall love him and despair. I made it on Hero Forge because Chelsea's recently, if you're regular around the streams, you know that Chelsea's here quite often. She's just got into, you know, she got into the idea of painting things. And I floated like, hey, if I bought a miniature, could you paint it? So there he is. And obviously he won't be this colour because it's cheaper to get it printed for myself and send it to somebody else to paint. But I'm considering it. I won't do it on stream. I don't think. Depends how far we go today. But this is him. This is he. He is my boy, and I love him. He's got big horns and a book. Because why fuck not? Anyway, back to what I was doing. Dragons for she's painting minis for me. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I didn't know if that was a surprise, so I didn't want to spoil it. But no, she is actually painting miniatures. There we go. I in the moment as I was saying it, I was like, oh no, Alex is here. Was this a surprise I wasn't supposed to mention? Fuck. And then, yeah, it's not. You're fine. Sick. Oh boy. Hi, chica. She'll paint for you too. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get a little boy. Little dragon man. He shall be my squishy. And I shall love him. Anyway, what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, My Hero's season has been fantastic. Yes. Where am I up to? Oh, it's just the exams at the moment. Anybody who's not caught up on My Hero, I do apologise. Yeah. I'm reading the manga, so I am way far ahead. But this season is good. I am having a little crisis at the manga at the moment, but I don't think about that until Sunday. And I had panicked that I thought it was Sunday, and it's in fact Saturday. Is there even going to be a chapter this week? I think so. Either way, I'm panicking, because people might die. And I like people. Yeah, a new chapter coming in 23 hours, okay. And I like people, and I don't want them to die. Too many people have died already in this story for me to trust that people won't die. Oh dear, I'm going to sneeze. That's better. I have hotkeys now. This is endlessly exciting to me and nobody else. Because now if I'm going to do something like sneeze, I can mute myself at the press of a button. You can also do cool things like swap things on the fly. And I'm working on it. The stream's getting progressively fancier and fancier. I'm in the process of working out how to do like animated transitions between stuff. Because that's cool. So at the moment we just kind of fade. At the moment we just kind of fade between things. Which is alright, but like, wouldn't it be cool if it flew across the screen? Wouldn't it be cool if on game night we had a thing come up that went game night and left? Yeah. I just think they're neat. Okay, is there anything else that needs to get done? Yeah, well, there's probably some elaboration I could do on the planar pump, but that's a good start. And it's more work than I've done in the last 4 months on this, so 3 months, I think, the last time I worked on this was like February. Respect. So there's probably going to be some kind of resistance in this city. So I'm assuming... What I'm thinking at the moment is they're probably going to send them to fuck up the planar pump. So it's going to need to be either deactivated or destroyed. Deactivation's going to take a while. In fact, I can write about deactivation rather than destruction. Well, this is going to be the intelligence dump stat trap. I can't even speak. The intelligence dump stat trap. So they need to work together and all pass. DC 15 intelligence. Oh. Intelligence. DC 15. Well, yeah, let's slap that up a little bit, actually. Let's make that 17. A DC 17. Because that will... I know there are people that will not be able to do that, because people's dump stats are... people's intelligence stats are minus numbers. Should probably be something else as well, so that someone doesn't luck out. Dark all of a sudden. The sun's not supposed to go down for another couple hours. Jesus. Oh, it's going to rain. I see. That's what the problem is. Alright. That's fine. As a wizard main, that hurts me. Intelligence is actually one of the most interesting stats. Yep. But people dump the shit out of it because they think it's just being clever. And intelligence actually has a load of other shit connected to it. Not as much as charisma. Like, half the game is controlled by charisma. If you want to do anything, you need half-decent charisma. That's why you always play a charisma caster. Wait, no. There needs to be another test. So it needs to be... Pipes leading places, so it's going to have to be... Actually, they're probably going to have to disconnect a pipe. It's going to be disconnecting some kind of transportation thing, like a pipe or a conveyor belt, but not smashing it. Those in my campaign are pretty varied. I have a druid, a blood hunter, a ranger, and a warlock. That's a pretty good spread, actually. Like, I haven't looked into blood hunter a whole lot because I'm not into what's that show? Critical Role. I'm not a big Critical Role thing. In fact, I don't think I watched any of those kind of D&D shows. I don't know why. I really like D&D. But yeah, so cool. I haven't been into Critical Role at all. So anything that Matt Mercer makes, I find out from other people. I'm like, oh, sick, he made a Blood Hunter. Sick. Alright. And I've just never looked at it. Someone's going to be a blood hunter. I think Adam said he was going to be a blood hunter in our next campaign. And that's fine, because that's not the one I'm DMing, so I don't have to know how it works. Aaron does, but I just get to sit there and be like, it sounds right. Oh my god, can we have like coloured pipes and one of them has to be disconnected? Cut the red wire. Yeah, we're going to do that. Blood Hunter is like Ranger. A whole load of random features and abilities. Oh, okay. But like good, I'm assuming. It's okay, I guess. More flavor than anything else. Oh, okay. So it kind of sounds like it's almost a... like a Ranger subclass that got boosted up to a full class. But I'd have to look into it. I don't know. In fact, hold on, we got 5e tools open. That's my DM screen. Classes. I think Blood Hunter's on here. Or not. It is not. Yeah, it's not even in the thing. It's just Hunter in there. I'd have to go and look for it, but... yeah, sidekicks. Okay, right. Well, it's not on. It's not on 5e tools, therefore it doesn't exist. It got released officially, didn't it? Or is it still in UA? I can't remember. Because I could look into. It's mainly for anyone who wants to play the Monster Hunter trope and Witcher, etc. Fair. Alright, well. That's probably another reason why I don't know anything about it, because I don't watch or play The Witcher, so. A big fantasy nerd, and I know I've never seen The Witcher. Oh boy. He must be a fake fan. I just can't get into it. Tried playing the games, couldn't do it. Tried watching the series, was like, this it doesn't do it for me. Does not tickle my fancy. Don't know why. Seems right up my street, but can't do it. Then again, I am the man who yesterday watched all of Castlevania Season 4 and hated all of it. So maybe I just have strange tastes, which is entirely possible. Right, which pipe? If we got one for every colour of rainbow, because why not? Hidden pride. It's not hidden. I shouldn't say that. That's not what I mean. That's not what I don't mean. Hidden pride. I mean like. I'm gonna stop talking. Disconnect the blue. What about the blue and the orange one? Yeah. You hated Castlevania Season 4? Yeah. I hate Season 3 as well. I don't know what it is about the show, but I'm like, it doesn't do it for me. Funnily enough, and I was talking to Chelsea about this earlier actually, funnily enough, as soon as they killed Dracula in the Castlevania show, spoilers for Castlevania if people haven't seen Castlevania yet, but also it's Castlevania. If you know anything about Castlevania, there's Dracula in it and you kill him. Yeah, pretty much as soon as Dracula is killed, it's like, okay, this show is, I don't know. Maybe it's my own, like, expectations for what a Castlevania thing should be. But Yeah, this is. I'm basically going to talk about Castlevania now, and it's going to get real spoilery. I'm going to try not to go too far. Pretty much as soon as Castlevania Castlevania Dracula is killed, I'm just like, okay, why is the show? One, why is the show still going? And two, if it's still going, can at least be interesting. And no, I find myself not giving a shit. Really, the only character I was watching it, and the only character I think I can see having a clear character arc after season 2 is Isaac, and I don't like Isaac. I'm probably some kind of terrible disappointment. And in season 4, there's like 3 plot lines that don't go anywhere. It's like, oh, we're gonna revive Dracula, and I'm like, oh, sick, Dracula's coming back, and then no. Because that's the thing. Like, there's a thing in Castlevania. There's a big trope of bringing Dracula back. Dracula comes back every time, and I get it, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dracula. And no, maybe I'm just playing and watching Castlevania for Dracula. That's fair. I'd still pick you over Chelsea. Don't worry. Ah, yes. I have retained my status. Ugh. I will stop talking about Castlevania now. Maybe tomorrow in my actual stream slot, I will yell about Castlevania more. But probably not. Unless anybody specifically asks. Yeah. Don't know what it was about it. I'm gonna stop talking about Castlevania, Josh. Come on. You're not doing Curse of Strahd. If you were doing Curse of Strahd, we could yell about this all day. I have the premium edition of Curse of Strahd with the coffin and shit. I thought about it. That got announced last year. Yeah, that was the one that got announced last year. And I was looking at something. I can't remember what it was. And that popped up, and I was like, that looks sick. I kind of want to get it. The problem is that I now have so many D&D books that I don't have here, so I can't even show them off. I now have so many D&D books that I am pretty much officially the collector of 5th edition, which is bad. It's bad for my wallet. It's not bad personally. It's just bad that it's very expensive. And I have all the books not all the books. All the books I have are in hardback. And I was looking into the special edition of Curse of Strahd that came out last year. And the book that comes with it was like just like a magazine almost. That was the best way I can describe it. It wasn't hardback, is what I'm saying. And do I have anything that is helpful to illustrate what I mean? No, but you know, point is, it wasn't in a hardback book. And that's the thing that made me not get it. I was like, it's a soft cover, that's it, yeah. I was there for like the Taroka deck and everything. I was like, this is so cool. And you can do the whole thing. And then it was like, yeah, and you just get this floppy little thing that it's going to rip and you're not going to be able to keep nice unless you keep it in the set. But the set takes up too much room. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just buy the book. I'll just get the hardback at some point. Probably gonna get a hardcover as well. Yeah. And then if I buy the whole special edition, and then I'd have to buy like a hardcover of the book to keep the book nice, that doesn't do it for me. I would still like a Taroka deck. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Because I did run a Halloween session with this group. I ran a thing I found online a couple of years ago that I found again this year, just gone, 2020. It's called One Night to Kill Strahd, and you have like 5 real-time hours to kill Count Strahd, and you start in. You get pulled into Ravenloft like you do at the beginning of Curse of Strahd, but you get pulled straight to Castle Ravenloft, and everything you need. So the sun blade, sword, the weapon that's basically a lightsaber but for the sun. And like all the artifacts are in Castle Ravenloft. And Strahd basically pulls you in and is like, fuck you, you'll never be able to beat me in a night. And you have to go around the castle and find the stuff. You have a Taroko reading right at the beginning to tell you where they are. But you get like a riddle. And then you go and you beat Strahd. So we started at 7 p.m. And we're like, we're going to play for 5 hours. And they beat Strahd with 15 minutes to spare. At quarter to midnight, Strahd was dead and they were released. Which was real cool. It was really cool. It sounds sick, and it was sick, and I want to run it again just because it was so fun. Because I had no stress because all of the prep work's done for you. So all you got to do is describe stuff to people and let them work it out. So I was there with 4 players who were all just like, we gotta find the Sunblade, and I don't know where it is. This is the thing we got. This is the clue we got. And I don't. And I even gave them a map of Castle Ravenloft. Like you could do it without giving them a map, and they just have to wander around. And I was like, no, here's a map. Here are all the floors, and work it out. Have fun. Bye. And they just about managed to do it. Yeah. It was really fun, and it was really fun to see them like get excited about it. Do I still have the? I made like a little because it was a big deal for me because it was real cool, and I made a little poster. There it is. Let me see if I can pull that up on stream, which I probably can. Image, yeah. There it is. There it is. I made this. I made that for it, and I was real pleased with myself. Yeah, it was real sick. I'm still proud of it. I still am. I'm very excited. But yeah, I find it difficult to make some horror. Yeah, I'm not a big horror person myself, but it helped that three of the group who were playing with at the time. So the group I was DMing for was Owen, Aaron, John, and Adam. Who Adam's not around here a whole lot, but like Owen and Aaron are. And so, me, John, Aaron, and Adam have been playing D&D for quite a while, and so Owen's the newbie. So when I said, "Hey, for Halloween we're going to do a variation on Curse of Strahd," like the 3 of them that knew what it was were like, "Oh, sick! Yeah, that's cool." And then we just had to pull Owen through. Yeah, it was a nice little Halloween thing. Did we do it the day before Halloween? I can't remember. When was Halloween? When was Halloween last year? It was on a 31st. Oh, yeah. That was it. So yeah, we played on a Friday. That in October. So because Halloween was on the Saturday, we played into the Saturday. If you couldn't beat him by midnight Halloween morning, you lost. Yeah. Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft is a fantastic edition. I haven't looked into Van Richten's at all. And I think that's because I don't have a particular like affinity for Curse of Strahd as a whole. I had a very bad. The one time I've done all of Curse of Strahd, I had a very bad experience with another player, and I ended up dropping out of that campaign early completely. In fact, I had a bad experience with 2 players, who I won't name for obvious reasons. Yeah, I just remember having a horrible time, and I left halfway through Curse of Strahd, and I never got to see what it was like at the end. So maybe I need to look into Van Richten's a little more to get into Curse of Strahd a little bit. Okay, alright, that's probably enough for the Planar pump for now, that I've been typing for almost an hour and a half. Yes, the main thing it does is add Dark Domain, so it's not just Curse of Strahd. I mean, that's fair. I don't know. Again, I'd have to look into it, because I don't know how I feel about that, given that Ravenloft is just Strahd's domain. I don't know. Let's look into it. No, let's not do that. Let's not get people arrested. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. It's just started raining, and I've realised that I am all white on one side just because of the glare. Because I thought it was going to be a nicer day than this. And I'm quite glad that I streamed instead of taking the walk I was going to take. Because otherwise I got rained on. Let's see. Just delete that. Out of there. Okay. What about the Ruins of Black Salt Tavern? This is going to have to go on a different page, methinks. Yes, it is. Let's put a page break here. I am, however, going to want my page number, though. This is page 8. This is page 9. This is not page 1. This is page 9. My page number's right, goddammit. Okay. Sucks that you had to leave the group. Yeah, but I went out in a cool way. So it was a group that I had been playing in for 2 years, 3 years. Like, we've been playing D&D for a long time. So I got into D&D, and we had a fairly high group turnover because of one of the players causing several issues. And so we had it was a homebrew campaign, and we were doing all kinds of cool homebrew stuff with some like official stuff mixed in just for flavor. And we ended off that kind of season, the pre-season before, with Tomb of Horrors. So all this stuff that had been going on in the story was actually being caused by a Sararak, the lich that lives in the Tomb of Horrors. And so we went in there and we confronted him, and we actually had a really lenient DM who said, "We're going into the Tomb of Horrors. It's a module from first edition that's designed to kill players." Because Gary Gygax had enough of players dying and being resurrected. He was like, if you die in the tomb, the character is dead. So if if you don't want to go in with your character, you may make another character, or I've got some pre-builds that go in the universe that you can do. Case in point, one of the players in the first room of the tomb, there is a hole in the wall that looks like the gaping mouth that is a Serak's symbol. And if you jump through it, there's an Orb of Annihilation, and you're immediately killed. And one of our players took a running jump into the mouth at the beginning of the dungeon, like literally the first room, and was instantly killed. And then she had to play somebody else. She got a pre-build in, I think. But it was like, oh, yeah, this is designed to kill people. Anyway, so we went all the way through the Tomb of Horrors and then killed a Serak. And Serak's not in the tomb in the original module, so he had to be homebrewed in. And we did eventually beat the shit out of him. And I was playing another character who was in canon was a criminal, because I was like, well, I don't want to make anybody that I'm gonna get too attached to in case they fucking die. So he was a criminal. His name was Hornheart. He was a Goliath, and he was just a dick because he was a criminal. In fact, the only useful thing he did was he used to go in and poke the floors of every room to check for traps. But because he was a Goliath and at the level we were at, it didn't matter that he got hit by stuff because he just tanked it. But he used to do stuff like one of the members of the party was an Aarakocra, and he used to pick them up and open doors with them. Because he was like, oh, I'm not going in first, so you can go in first. And he'd literally throw people through the door. So we beat a Serak, and the thing, like his staff that he had was something crucial to the plot, I can't remember, and he threw it into this portal. And one of the portals in the throne room of the Tomb of Horrors, it leads you into a room that if you like open the door to get out, in the actual module, like you get attacked by animated weapons, which isn't a problem really. But in this version of the homebrew, it was a room with no exits, and like if you go in there, that's it. And so Hornheart sees the thing that we need, get thrown into the portal, and everyone else gathers around and is like, well, how are we going to do this? Like, we don't know what's on the other side of this portal. We don't know what's going on. And so he just literally sits there and does an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then picks up one of the characters and just throws her in. It's like, oh, she can go and get it. Of course, she can't get out, but there's something in her backstory that means she's tied to an event that has to happen to another character. Because that didn't happen, we essentially restarted the timeline. So the next season picks up in a new timeline. And I was playing a different version of my original character. My original character, Razalth, is a sorcerer. And so he came, because of certain events that happened in his own backstory, because of the time skip, he came back as a barbarian. He came back as a barbarian that didn't know he was a sorcerer and was never trained to be a sorcerer. So every time he raged, he wild magicked, which was a really cool concept, and I want to go back to it because it's just funny. He raged once and turned into a plant in the middle of a fight, and he just sat there as a potted plant and he couldn't do anything. He once spotted somebody that he was after down a street, ran at them screaming, went into a rage, and then disappeared in the astral plane halfway down the street. And the person he was chasing was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just go. Anyway, yeah, and so because of everything that happened that was changed, he had a whole, basically, personality shift. And he was the guy, he went from this mild-mannered sorcerer that was perfectly content with being essentially the support, because our actual support didn't do any supporting, so Razalth had to multi-class into something that gave him healing spells. As the campaign went on, I get told that I wasn't playing my own character right, which is always a bad place to start. And that I was hindering, and basically I got accused of metagaming, and just purposefully hindering progress, even though the progress we were making was pretty substantial. And it just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. And so I, in the middle of a fight, I didn't just leave. I was like, okay, I have to write my character out. So there came a point in a fight where it would have made sense for Resolve to essentially sacrifice himself. And so he did, for the good of everybody else, because it made sense in the context of the scenario and the character. And so he I think he attacked a fire elemental and it exploded or something. Either way, there was some kind of fire involved, and so he died and went to, like, what's the best way to describe it? Like a waiting room for the afterlife. And one of the servants of death turned up, and it looked like somebody from his past, because it was a cool little homebrew thing that we were doing. And he, because the DM liked my character, and he liked what I was doing with it, and he was like, you get one chance, and if you want to come back, I'll let you come back for free. And I was like, no, I want to go. I don't want to be in the game anymore, so my character's dead, and I'll go. And that's how I got out. However, he did have a cool moment. That same character had a cool moment, because later in the story, another character died who had ties to mine. In, like, close ties, and all kinds of things were going on that it takes too long to explain here. And he died, and the servant of death that came to pick him up was my character. So they're all in a Discord call. This is years ago. It's like 2018. Everyone playing was in a Discord call, and I got a message from the DM, and it just said now, and I just jumped in and I did the voice. I was like, oh, hello. Come with me, we're going to a better place. It turns out that he is now, in that universe, canonically a servant of death, and he just goes and picks people up. So I just remember going into that session. They're like, oh, so you're dead. Come with me, let's go to heaven, or whatever it was. And everyone else in that session was like, oh, hey, Josh, I didn't know you were coming back. And I'm like, I'm not, here I am, bye. Just left after that. I was like, I'm done, bye. So that was cool. And I may use that in my own stuff at some point, just because it's just fucking hilarious. This is just so cool. Yeah. He goes and picks people up now, and it's great. And if we ever go back to doing anything in that world, we did another thing. I rejoined that group, like, but it was an altered version of that group, like, later. I think later in 2018, I think, to do a different kind of story with all new characters. And my old character that was a servant of death was still working for death and would just turn up and be like, oh, this guy's dead, right, bye. He'd just show up and take people on and go, which was fun. But yeah, I have an amusing number of D&D stories. What was I doing before I got fucking brought into D&D stories? I was going to do something about Black Salt Tavern. How long have we been going for? An hour and 35. I am a lot more awake than I was an hour and a half ago, to be fair. I think it's because I started talking about D&D. And that always gets the blood pumping. I've never had a group consistent enough to develop a character to that extent. I would recommend it. Like, if you can find a consistent group that will play consistently, which is a very redundant sentence. If you can find someone that will play with you for a long time, it's very much worth it just for that. So that group that I just told the story about, we had that group from 2016. Yeah, 2016 until 2018. It was like 2 years. I can't remember if it was longer than that. And we would meet up almost every Wednesday for 2 years. And it started off, because I was still in sixth form when it started. We'd start... We'd come out of school and we'd go and play D&D. So we'd turn up at like 3:30. And we'd finish playing at 10. And we'd play for like 6-7 hours. Which now is ridiculous. And I don't know how we did it. But that was fun. Playing for 6 hours at a time drains you. And like I used to sleep so well on Wednesday nights. Thank God I had nothing to do on Thursdays. But yeah, 7 hours is a little ridiculous. And we started doing... Last year we started doing a regular session with Owen, Aaron, and Adam, and now Ollie. And we were playing from last summer when we were allowed to get back together again in like August. And we played up until kind of early this year because obviously like final year started to catch up with me and Aaron. So we haven't played for a while, but I'm hoping we can get back to it. Longest session you've ever done is 11 hours. Woo! That, I don't know if I could do that. Because I would struggle to do a 7-hour session now. Especially running one. I think I might be able to play for 7 hours. I couldn't run a 7-hour session. I struggle running a 3-hour session. It's because the amount of thinking I have to do is unreal. And it tires me out. Yeah. 11 hours. I give props to 11 hours because, oh my god, I couldn't do that. Don't know how the DM did it. Sheer force of will, probably. Oh look, the sun came out. Right. I'm wondering if I can do another 20 minutes and make it up to a nice round 2-hour stream. You know what? Let's try. Let's try and do another 20 minutes. Just because we can. Also, I feel kind of guilty because I know that Chelsea and Alex are supposed to be watching a film today. That Chelsea really wanted to watch. Now I feel kind of bad if their evening has been interrupted by me telling dumb stories. So, if that is the case, please go. Don't stay. Live your own lives. God, I just sound like a depressed grandmother. Live your own lives. Go. Be yourselves. She's listening too. Now I feel bad. Anyway. Alright, let's think about this tavern. Where is this tavern in relation to everything else? See, it's right next to the square. Okay. We're good, dude. Nice. Remains of Black Salt Tavern. Their chart remains. Stand out, not stick out. Stand out. Showed him all my Disney Infinity figures. Oh, Jesus, you had a lot. You had a lot of those. I remember the Disney Infinity boom of 2014. I got one of the two I was missing from the Star Wars lot. Oh, nice. that 2014? No, it's like 2014, 15 kind of time. I can't remember. We were at school. We were at school. I was a prick. Same diff. Thank God I'm not a teenager anymore, because that was bad. It was a bad time for me. Made lots of poor decisions. I was an asshole. And here I am. Here I am with no friends. I can't even make that joke without laughing. Don't worry, I'm going to beat her up and take her lunch money. Good. As we always say here on stream, beat up the nerds. They deserve it. But not if you're going to beat me up. Because I don't deserve it. Any other nerd, it's fair game. I'll pretend to be a jock to not get beaten up. It's fine. Don't know where I was going with that joke, but here we are. Wow, I just can't spell. It's not how you spell chard, is it? There we go. That should be there. That should be its. There we go. Its charred remains. Stand out from the orderly buildings around it. Put a W in walls, Josh, otherwise it just looks like alls. Yeah, blackened timbers jut out from the ground where alls and doorways used to stand. That makes fucking sense, doesn't it? Walls and doorways used to stand. I also wrote R instead of and. Wow. Josh needs more sleep. He needs to go to sleep at a reasonable hour. Otherwise, he can't type, he can't think. Don't go to bed at 4 a.m., kids. Not even once. Don't go to bed when the sun's just coming up. Yeah, fuck yourself up. Trying to find a good way of, because this is a good description, but I'm trying not to repeat myself. So what I've got at the moment is the remains of Black Salt Tavern border the square, and its charred remains stand out from the orderly buildings around it. Blackened timbers, yeah, okay, good, I didn't use that twice. Blackened timbers jump out from the ground, marking out where walls and doorways used to stand. Smashed bottles with barely legible labels litter the floor around what remains of the bar, and the something furniture. Well, let's finish the rest of the sentence, then I can. The furniture. What we could do is, because there's going to be something. There's something furniture. The furniture is strewn around the structure. The crumbling. Yeah, let's go with crumbling. Got to use my adjectives. Still writing the City of Steel thing, by the way. Should be done tomorrow. Oh, sick! Got a basic draft. Need to fine tune it. Whoa, it's probably way better than mine. Because I could read the one I did. Because I context. Nobody else knows. So Chelsea texted me the other day and said, "Yo, I want to do some creative writing stuff. Have you got anything? If you think of, can you think of anything you'd like that would be helpful?" And I was like, "Yeah, could you describe my city?" Just because I wanted to see what somebody else could like do with it. So I gave her like a basic rundown and was just like, "Have fun," because I wanted to know what was going to happen, what was going to come out of it, because I might get some inspiration for all of this. And I can't remember what I wrote. That's flavor text. Yeah, I didn't think I wrote anything that was. Did I write anything in the actual like plan document? I spent a lot of time in the tavern at the beginning. Have you got a rundown of your world, like a description? I'm so bad at. I've discovered that I'm so bad at homebrew that I haven't like made a world. I just make locations. I just make places to slap in the Forgotten Realms. Just be like, oh look, that was there the whole time. Eventually, if I do enough homebrew, I'll probably have some kind of world to do. But I just remember having. Like, I've tried to do homebrew before, and I start on the world scale, and then I go, I have made a world, or like a continent, good, and then it just sits on a hard drive forever. So... Yeah, so I have like a basic, like the world's most basic description of this city. I know what it looks like in my head, but I haven't actually written it down. All I've got so far is inside the walls, the building's tower of the characters. But all but one don't come close to the top of the wall. They have obviously been built on Hurry. They lean as creek as the characters move through them. Streets are cobbled, empty, and silent. Like, I know what it looks like in my head, but there's something about putting it on the paper that's a problem. That's cool, dude. Just looks interesting. I mean, yeah, I want to, when this is done, I kind of want to put it on, like, DM's Guild or something. Because I know I'd get a load of feedback. Hopefully. But also I need to finish it first. And yeah, I don't know. Doing all of this, I've discovered that I'm quite good at writing flavor text. Like, I'm real good at flavor text. Like, I'm real proud of this one. After the brightness of the celestial plain, you're taken aback by the gloom of this new place. You emerge on the hillside, and as you gather your bearings, you can see below you an enormous city. It's strange. It glows with an unusual light, and it glints off every surface. An enormous wall encircles the city with watchtowers dispersed evenly along its circumference, and you make your way down towards the City of Steel. Like, I'm real good at flavor text. I'm real proud of my flavor text. Anything else, I'm like, I don't know, fucking something happens. So maybe I should just write flavor text for a living. Maybe I should get a writing team together and I'll write all the flavor. Everyone else make the rules and describe things. I don't know. It's cool. Hey, that sounds good. Hey, Daikon. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to need that flavor text. I think it matches a little with what I have already. Oh. Okay. You have a really good DM's voice. Oh, thanks. Oh my god, I'm so many compliments. What do I do with myself? I don't know. I will send that flavor text to you at some point, Chelsea. In fact, you know what? I can do that now. Just gonna excuse me while I type this out in a message. Talk amongst yourselves. This is a chilled stream anyway. I don't mind typing on my phone. This one. Say the word. I'll leave Chelsea. We can run away together. I'm so lonely that I would say yes. We're not gonna go there. I'll just make myself sad. By the gloom, this new place. Hey Daikon, how was your day? Because yeah. How was your day? Sound like you're interested, Josh. How was your day, Daikon? Jesus. Get with the plan. Pretty good, thank you for asking. I've also been trying to work on some writing now. Been kind of out of it. That's a mood. That is a mood. I decided to indulge and bought some pizza too. I did that yesterday. Oh, so in sync. And glints. I have pizza right now too. Oh yeah. You see, I bought pizza yesterday, and I didn't finish it so that I could have some for lunch today, because that's always the best part. And I finished it. That was several hours ago, and now I'm hungry. So we're gonna. I don't know how much longer we'll go for the stream, but when we stop, I'm gonna eat. But it won't be pizza, because I've had too much takeout for the last month. I need to actually cook. I'll get back to writing in 1 second. I've just got to finish typing this out. Steel. Oh yeah, I'll send that to Chelsea now. You can use that on something. So I'm real good at flavor text, not good at anything else. Where were we? We were here. We're in the Black Salt Tavern. There you go. No problem. But yeah. I don't know, Alex. Next time Alex, next time I come down and see Chelsea, or if you guys are coming down my way, my home way, not over here, unless you're coming to Canterbury, in which case, we'll do some D&D stuff. Either we'll sit and talk about it for a very long time, or we'll actually play. I could do a big piece of writing, but not good at actual flavor text. We should team up. I have a feeling if we team up, we could make something real good. Yes. Oh, I'm good at just flavor text that fills nothing and adds nothing to the story. He just popped out to get his inhaler, but he'll love it. Yeah. Well, let him know when he gets back, and we'll do something. Oh. Full stop. Done. Right. I don't mind teaming up. Yeah, like if we team up, it would be fucking amazing. Probably. Let's be honest. We'd team up on fucking everything. At this rate, we will team up on everything. Like, oh yeah, let's make this, and then it'll just be me and you make everything, which isn't a problem. I would welcome a writing team. I have so many ideas and nothing to write them with. Of course, a powerful duo. There's always two. The master and the apprentice. Yeah. Alex said he'd love to play or talk D&D. Hell yeah! That's what we'll do. If I have proved nothing in the last month, 2 months that I've been streaming, is that I can talk about shit for a long time. Like a really long time. Like probably too long. What was we were talking about? The tavern. The burned tavern. Okay. Yeah, man. Don't mind DMing or playing. Let's fucking do it. It's been a long time. It's been a couple months since I last did anything D&D related. That's mainly my own fault, but also not, because I had work to do. So I don't know. I might do some more streams like this, because this seems to work about getting what I want on paper, because I don't know what's stopping me the rest of the time. But, well, whatever. Let's see. If we do a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more, and then we'll end the stream, because we're almost going for 2 hours, and I'm a lot more awake than I was 2 hours ago, which is good, because hot damn was I tired. I was like, if I go to bed now, I will have fucked my sleep schedule completely. But I didn't, so it's fine. Where are we going to hide this? So there's going to be like an underground thing. Where are we going to hide that in a burned building? It has fairly regular use, so it's going to need to be hidden somewhere. Probably with magic. So not like just under a rug or something. What if there's like a symbol behind the bar? There's like a... It's like a... something... like a rune carved into the wood behind the bar, and you like touch it and something happens. That's a good idea. I'm having that. I am having that. Investigation. How hard should it be able to find? It's going to start with a 10. What does the rune do? I don't know. I'm going to work that out when I get there. It's going to open something. Like a way down. So there's like a... The plan is that there's like a resistance force, and their base is underneath the ruins of this tavern. Because Yigdal thought he destroyed them, but he hadn't. Woo! So I just need a way to get to the base. And I was like, what if there's a magic rune that does something? Like it's going to open a portal, or something's going to lift up. But we'll get there once I get there. A DC... 14? No, I kind of want them to be able to find it, so... 12 or 13. Let's go 12 just in case. Where's investigation? Is that wisdom? It's something. It's a D, not an S, carved into the wood. Is it like a touch thing? I imagine it's probably just a touch thing. Yeah. Right. What does this rune do? Does it open a thing? Does it make a thing appear? Spells. There's got to be some kind of spell that will do something cool. I have an app with all the spells ever made in it because, dear God, was it helpful. Okay, false life. Let's skip Lavender Town, shall we? Sorry, I just started playing through my headset and I was like, we'll skip that one. Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion only lasts for 24 hours. So does Mordenkainen's private sanctum. So it can't be either of those spells. Wait. I had rope trick once. What does rope trick do? Touch a length of rope that's up to 60 feet long. The end of the rope then rises into the air until the whole rope hangs perpendicular to the ground. The upper end of the rope, invisible entrance, opens to an extra dimensional space that lasts until the spell ends. And it's only an hour. I could flavor text it. How big is this space? It's just an extra dimensional space. Oh, eight medium or smaller creatures. Nope. Too small. Because it can't, like, Liamon's tiny hut is also too small. 9 creatures. Only one creature bigger than the rope trick. Okay, well, in which case, maybe not the spell. Maybe it doesn't cast a spell. Does it lift up a portion of the floor? Yeah. Yeah, it lifts up a picture of the portion of the floor which allows them to drop down into a tunnel. But how do you disguise it so people don't see it? It's going to have a load of rubble on top of it. And it's just like it's just all glued on top of this thing. I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. There we go, with slightly triumphant music in the background. I think I solved the problem. Okay. How long have we been going? 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay. I think that will do for today. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. You helped me stay awake for another couple hours. And what time is it now? It's only 7:30, so what's that? 2.5 hours? And then I can probably go to bed at a reasonable time. Is that 10 o'clock? 9, 10 o'clock-ish? Yeah. Woo! So I'll find something to do to pass the next couple hours. Need to eat. That's going to take up some time. So yeah, thank you very much for coming. And I got some D&D stuff done. This was a nice chilled out stream. I think we might do something like this again. I'm glad I was able to hop in for a bit. It was super nice to listen to. Thanks, Daikon. Yeah. So I might do something like this again, but it might be in a regular slot. Or it might just be on a day where I need something to do, because I've got lots of free time now. Let's do the spiel. In the panels down below, if you're on desktop, I don't know how it works on mobile, I don't think it does work. There are links to everything. You could click on a picture that says, "Hi, I'm Josh," and it takes you to my YouTube channel where these VODs go. So if you miss a stream and it's not on Twitch for some reason, you can go and watch the VOD. There's also a link down there to Game Corner, which is a channel that I run with my friend Owen, and we post funnies and make video game stuff because fuck it, we want to. God damn it. And there's some Pokemon coming out at some point. Sword and Shield, we're finishing that off. There's also a link to Owen, because Owen streams. Not till Wednesday. Yes. But he does stream, so go and follow that boy too. You can also join our Discord, which pops up occasionally in the chat. There's also a link down there. You just click the button that says Discord and it takes you straight to it. Because we're so integrated here. There we go. That's it from me. And hopefully a much better rested, more with it Josh will be here tomorrow at 7 PM for whatever game I'm doing in my Sunday slot. It might be Xenoblade, because I've watched a lot of Xenoblade recently and I really like that game. It might be Xenoblade, it might be something else. We'll find out together. Because I'll probably make a decision either tonight or tomorrow afternoon. Alright, well, that's me. Thank you for coming. I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye. I don't know how to end these still. I've been doing this for so long.